think that's... I think she's
You're an icon, Larry.
But there we are.
Oh, I know that.
Cheers, Mike, for all the information.
Brilliant. Time now to celebrate the work of an inventor from Derby who went to extraordinary lengths to save lives. Over to Marty Jobson.
Edgar Pask was called the bravest man in the RAF never to have flown an aeroplane. During World War II, he put his life on the line many times, but his research led to the development of the modern life jacket, and that has saved countless lives around the world.
The RAF came and dove in, shouting the old hunting cry, tally-ho!
In the 1940s, Pask was investigating ways of improving the survival chances of aircrew who'd bailed out of their planes. This included coming into the channel to see downed airmen being rescued. And whilst he was doing that, he was presented with a disturbing sight. Men wearing life jackets, but face down in the water, dead. The fear was that they died not from injuries sustained in battle, but because the life jackets they were wearing didn't keep their heads above water if they blacked out. Circumstances surrounding these deaths had to be handled carefully, and Pask began top-secret research into how an unconscious person behaved while wearing a life jacket. There was a problem, though. Nobody had found an accurate way of testing how to do this in the 1940s. The reason being that imitating an unconscious person in water is impossible, because the body is always going to automatically protect itself, giving unrealistic results. Pask realised that there was only one way to test how an unconscious body reacts when it's wearing a life jacket, and that was to test it on an unconscious human being. And who better than himself? That was his eureka moment. So he became the guinea pig for his own experiments, which these remarkable photos show.
Pask would get dressed up in a full airman's outfit, so battle dress and jumper, and put on whatever flotation device they were testing, and then he'd lay down on the side of the swimming pool and been anaesthetised.
Once out cold, he was set adrift in the pool, which was an incredibly dangerous thing to do. The only thing keeping him alive was a tube which fed him air and more anaesthetic to keep him knocked out.
Whatever happened to him happened. He sometimes sank, sometimes flipped over, sometimes floated nicely. It's a very, very dangerous experiment to do.
After every test, Pask had to be hospitalised, but this didn't put him off pushing things further. Ealing Studios were already making propaganda films, but Pask got them to contribute to the war effort in a different way, by commandeering their wave tank. The model ships normally filmed being tossed around the high seas were replaced by a knocked-out Pask. This is very rare footage of him in conditions you would find in the channel. All of these experiments gave vital information about how life jackets could be altered so they always flipped unconscious people onto their back.
He had to play around with the buoyancy quite a lot, but one thing he found was the optimum sort of place to put it allowed the body to rotate and actually float at about 45 degrees, allowing your airways to stay clear of the water. By placing a crutch strap to keep the life jacket in place, actually allowed the life jacket to rotate successfully.
Pask's pioneering work started the ball rolling for the life jackets we see all over the world today, including ones worn by the RNLI. And what better place to try one of these out than at their Sea Survival Centre in Poole. Here they can recreate up to a force-sick storm. Even in these high seas, I feel completely safe. This buoyancy device here keeps me on my back. If I turn over, it just pops me over again. And all thanks to Pask. There's no doubt that these experiments took their toll on Pask's health, but by putting his life on the line for others, it allowed life jackets today to save hundreds, if not thousands, of lives.
Well, Marty's films are always extraordinary,
Yeah.
but that one
He's
is
an amazing